Hey guys, thanks so much for joining me for this. I greatly appreciate it. Can you guys go around, introduce yourselves, tell me what you do in the band, and tell me a fun fact about you?
Oh man, my name is Josh. I am the singer in the HARA, and the fun fact about me is I actually sing in the HARA.
Great. My name is Zach, and I am the guitar player. And a fun fact about me is that I can like do this thing with my fingers. That's like,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
that's my party trick.
Oh, they won't be able to
You
see
can't
this
see it.
audio.
Oh,
You
no.
have to explain
It's
it.
like basically like I'm exchanging my thumb and my pointing finger to the other hand, and I do it really fast. It's like a
Techers.
yeah, it's absolute madness. So.
My name is Jack. I play the drums in the HARA, and it's a fun fact. My dad was a pro footballer. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So we have a cute little icebreaker that was asked at freshman orientation that we love asking people, and it is, if you can be any item in the kitchen, what would you be and why?
Any item in the kitchen? Oh, you know what I'd be? I'd be a whisk.
Why would you be a whisk?
So I can mash up my food and just chuck it down.
Whisks don't
Whisk
mash
don't
up
really
food.
mash though. You whisk.
A mash would mash up food.
Like a masher.
Yeah, it'd be a masher.
I'd be a masher.
Wow.
So
I'd be a frying pan. Versatile. Necessary. Get the job done.
yeah, okay.
I'd be a fridge, because then I have loads of food and that inside me already, so
Yum yourself.
just eating all the time.
Great.
Basically what I am now.
Fridge.
Yeah.
I love hearing people's answers to this question because, like, when I was asked this, it was one of those, I don't know anyone here, so this is how we're going to meet everybody. Very strange question to start off with, but it's always a good one. So I have a question that I think says a lot about a person, and the question is, what is your favorite album in your personal collection? And by personal collection, I mean you physically own the album.
Oh God.
Mine would be the first record I ever bought, which was Welcome to the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance. Yeah, and unfortunately it got stolen from me, which is a bit annoying. So technically I don't own it anymore. However, I did own it since I was like 13, so it's a good like 10 years.
I'd say for me, again, the first, like, well, it's a kind of CD that I went out and purchased myself, was the Vessel album by 21 Pilots. So, yeah, that's probably the...
I think the only one I can remember, like actually physically buying, would be Busted. Busted, and I used to absolutely jam to, is it Crash the Wedding?
Yeah.
Oh, I used to love that when I was a little kid. Whack that on.
That is a tune, to be fair.
It's a big tune.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think a person's favorite album says a lot about them because if you go out of your way to physically own it, it means something to you in some shape or form.
I feel quite ashamed actually. I don't think that album. Yeah, I mean, not even Busted. I don't mind Busted, but like right now, like can't remember the last time I actually physically bought like a vinyl or something. I'd love to get into vinyls though.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. We shall do it. We shall protect the musicians of the future and go buy loads of CDs tomorrow. That's what we'll do.
I have noticed lately a lot more people are actually purchasing vinyl and CDs, and I think that's because of streaming services. So my question for you is, what is your opinion of streaming services?
There you go. Nice segue.
Yeah. Well, do you want to take it?
I think they're great. I think it is dead easy to listen to whatever. I think actually the upside of it is that everything is so accessible now. You can. I think people are not just into one thing anymore. Like I think back in the day, you used to either be a rock fan or you used to like boy bands or classical music. Whereas now, I think everyone just likes what they like. If they, you know what I mean, you can get whatever you want. I think that's great. And I think as musicians as well, being able to like so many different things, you can put that into your music, all these different influences, and create something new. So I think that's amazing. But also the downside of that is that you hardly see a penny now from creating music, which is quite sad, and it's kind of reversed. So you make music now to go out on tour and that kind of thing. So,
but at the same time, it's like there's never been anything better for people to like hear music. It's kind of like the modern day radio, and like in our case, we've been on a couple of big like rock playlists
Yeah.
that have,
Probably in America as well.
yeah, all over, and they've got us thousands of new fans and new listeners and people that wouldn't have picked us up if we wasn't on them playlists. So in that kind of sense, I think they're brilliant, really.
Yeah. Zach, any opinion on this matter? No, he's silent. No opinion.
Yeah, good.
Not gonna lie, I use streaming services every day, all the time, for most of my day. I think they're wonderful for exposure. Like, you guys are in the UK and I'm over here in America. So like wonderful things like that can happen. At the same time, I've noticed over here, I don't know if this happens where you are. I personally don't like how I can see an artist's monthly listener count. I've noticed it's affected tours over here and like how the bills are created, because people only like listen to people who have high numbers, which I don't think should be a thing.
I think definitely it might affect where you put on the bill, because you might actually have quite a large fan base, but if because for whatever reason somebody might have had a viral song,
Just that one song.
it's just that one song. Listeners don't necessarily translate to fans. Do you know what I mean?
But it's like we know we've got 12,000 followers on Spotify, whereas someone could have like no followers but more monthly listeners. So I think there is a big difference between that, and you make a good point. Actually, I've never even thought about that.
No,
yeah,
never
very good.
I like your Boston Manor album as well, Pino.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, in there, nice.
Cool.
I normally I change it out for every interview I do, so it's nice.
Where's the hat? Oh, we've not got one. I don't know why I'm saying that. HARA vinyl, and we'll send it over to you.
I'm gonna quickly segue to, I want to talk about your EP, Play Dead. I love your sound because it doesn't sound like anything I hear over here at all, which is always fantastic to me. And I have to say, this is probably my EP of the year.
That's big.
My favorite song off the EP has to be Bite Down.
Yes, that's my favorite.
Nice.
I really like the layering on it, how everything kind of built up. And I do have a question for the guitar riff. Do you switch time signatures from 5 to 4?
Oh no, it's not. It's different phrasing. So we misplaced the one. So
Okay.
the time stays the
That way it
same.
goes into the chorus.
Yeah. So the time stays the same, but it goes into triplet time, and then we push the one.
Yeah.
So that's all we're doing.
Look at this musician talk. It's making me tingle, man.
I really appreciated that. It was kind of mathy, but
Definitely, it is a bit math rock, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's such a crazy song. Like literally every section of that song is, completely different and mad in its own way. And the whole purpose of that was our like stage intro song. So we walk out to that dramatic intro, and crazy, man.
how did you pick the track listing order for the EP?
I think it is pretty easy with the start and the end. Obviously, Until It Happens has the like Josh was just saying, has that intro that's like, whoa, there's something coming. We don't know what's coming, but it's coming. And then finishing on Animals being so kind of in your face and non-stop, and so probably the heaviest one on there. It was kind of a no question really to finish with that and have that as the kind of closing of the EP. And then it was just a case of,
Wasn't Circus meant to go into Off the Edge?
Yeah, because it's the same. So Circus and Off the Edge, the way Circus ends with the choir and all the brass, when you put the two songs together, it perfectly goes into Off the Edge. It's so weird. So we did that, and then as well, but Until It Happens and Bite Down were the two songs that hadn't previously been released. So we did Animal Circus Off the Edge as single, so we wanted them to be at the front. Because Spotify makes the ones at the front
it
most
does.
listens.
They
It's
do-
a little trickery going
They
on,
do
isn't there?
favour the top few, so
Yeah, we wanted to give them some limelight, didn't we?
marketing geniuses.
Yeah.
That's pretty clever. I actually haven't heard that yet, so I didn't know that. So that's
Yeah.
pretty interesting. I love asking about track listing order because I feel like it's supposed to tell a story in some shape or form. As you said, they all kind of blend really nicely into each other. It's but it was kind of like you're going through different stages of an experience.
Nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. They are so completely different, each song. And that's all I have to say on that.
But they're under the same umbrella.
We got a magazine interview the other week that said the HARA refused to be bounded by genres in their rock form, and it was like, yeah, that's it, that's the one. So as long as it sounds like us, and we have our little spice on top of it, then we'll kind of play anything that's under the umbrella.
You guys have a very distinct sound. Like if I just heard a couple of notes, I'd probably know it was your band, which is pretty cool. It kind of does lead to my next question of I hate placing bands in genres. I always mess it up. I never want to mess it up. And I always ask if the band can describe their sound in 3 words. Since there are 3 of you, you can each do 1 word.
Got it here, written down. I was ready for this question.
It's more than 3 words.
Or are we only?
Okay.
Can we give you all the words?
You can give me all the words.
Our sound is dirty, stank, beat riff, theatrical, rappy, anthemic rock. There we go.
Okay.
Do you reckon that sums it up?
I like the fact that you kind of touched upon different things in that sentence. Like, I don't really know how to go with that. I was just like, okay.
Just move on.
It's for sure. It's theatrical stank rock,
we made up,
which isn't a genre, but it's everybody knows the filthy face when you just hear a song and it's like, yeah, that's it. So that gives the stank, and then
Makes you like curl your lip or like shrivel your nose or something.
yeah, that's
it.
we curled lip, shriveled nose rock.
Great.
she's like, oh my god, what have I got into?
I think it's kind of raunchy. Yeah, that's a good word.
Yeah, man.
It is a bit raunchy.
Love a bit of raunch.
Yeah. I think it's clever. Like how you guys layer everything, especially everything sits in this nice little pocket throughout the whole EP. And
Yeah.
I like the fact that you kind of use vocals as not just like sitting on top. It's kind of like an instrumental portion of the song, which I, again, don't really hear that here. So it's always a pleasure.
Cool.
Sick.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate that.
So on that note, what is your favorite part of a song that you've written? It can be a lyric, a riff, a drum fill, anything. Yeah.
That's
A
good.
little better. Favorite part? Off the EP.
Favorite part of the song, I'd say. Oh, actually, the little weird, the bite down middle 8 is pretty cool because we actually, I think it bite down on the weird solo and then yeah. So it has this bit where we actually come up with it by dissecting the riff that it goes into, and like chopping and chopping up bits and adding little but like tiny little bits of it in, which makes the kind of solo that comes beforehand, if that makes sense. So that was quite clever. So I like that bit, but it's always quite nerve-wracking when you go to play it because it's remembering which parts of the riff is playing, and yeah, but that for me.
I absolutely love the lyrics we came up with in Off the Edge. I think they're just so in your face, controversial, and we got nipples in a song, which I think is a massive achievement. So yeah, that for me.
I think mine would be the breakdown in Animals.
Oof,
I think
filth.
just the filth, just the power. That's the lip curler for me. That breakdown.
That moment.
Oh, the power star.
That's the bit that is download festival, split the pit, and then circle pit, and then everyone
dies.
Yeah, everyone dies.
So I've never been to a festival. There's like one in America that I know of. We don't really have that here.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of sad. Like where I'm from, there's no venue. It's quite
What? No way. That's crazy. So if you wanted to go to a gig, you have to go quite far then?
Yeah, I'm in Staten Island, New York. I have to go to New Jersey, which is like an hour. So,
Oh man, bit of a trek, innit?
yeah.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, we were saying before, like, surprisingly, we haven't actually been to that many festivals ourselves. Like watching, even though there is so many in the UK, and it was just crazy. Like this year was going to be the first time that we were going to play like 20 odd festivals, and you know we'd never been to any of them watching before, which was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID, what's the scene like where you're from?
Depressing.
Yeah.
Well, our nearest city that we're in is a city called Manchester. So the scene around Manchester is amazing. Pre the virus, it's a really historical city for British music. So there's a great alternative scene as well. It definitely welcomes, you know, that kind of
Individuality.
yeah, the individuality, the kind of left wing ideology of expression and art and individuality. And yeah, it's amazing. I think that's, you know, we always love our gigs in Manchester. That's where we say is our hometown anyway. So
Yeah.
great place.
We just want to get back gigging.
Oasis, Smiths,
Yeah.
Joy Division,
Yeah.
Gary Barlow.
1975,
Gary Barlow.
Stone Roses,
Great bands.
Ocean Colour Scene,
Okay.
the HARA. My brain.
Spiral Carpets?
Yeah, Spiral Carpets, yeah. Lancashire Hot Pots.
Right. That's enough. That's enough.
As I mentioned, where I'm from, we don't have any venues. We also don't have a local music scene. So I looked at everybody else for this question. It's very upsetting where I'm from, where my school is. Movie School of Rock was filmed on our campus.
That's
And
so
we have no music.
That is cool.
Is it? Do you get tourists coming up to the school a lot and taking pictures?
I really think a lot of people don't know.
What?
Mm.
That's mad.
That's cool.
Have you ever had your substitute teacher go, "Remind glory"?
Every year for homecoming, we watch the movie like in front of the building because it's put Jack Black's in the van pulling up to the school. That's where I had class, that building. So
Yes.
it's like, oh, okay, we remember maybe once a year if we're lucky.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Love that. Love that.
I know it like influenced a lot of people. And then like, as I mentioned, like not having a scene here, it's kind of like sad. So hearing all of these other artists who like either grew up on the movie or just kind of like doing what you do, it's kind of nice to see that in other places.
I think you should make a venue in the school campus. Now that would be a sick venue.
Yeah. Build a stage on campus, and you
could
can
make
hold
it
your
the
own
School of Rock venue.
You can have the School of Rock festival.
Sick. Right.
Right.
We are the
We own
investors.
it. We own it. You can build it. We own it.
Copyright.
That'd be mental.
We'll headline as well.
That would be cool, but you know, COVID.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Forgot the world was ending.
Are you guys still in like lockdown-esque type situation?
Who knows what we're in?
We don't know. Big Bojo doesn't have a clue. So yeah, we've got well, they've just announced curfews and stuff like that. So we've got
10 p.m.
Yeah.
No pubs, nothing's open after 10 p.m.
We're starting to go back into another lockdown, our second lockdown. So we have to see kind of what's going on. But
what's it like where you are? Is it pretty chill or is it mad?
Everyone's still going out to accessibly buy toilet paper, and we don't even have indoor dining yet. So we're still in like phase 3 of reopening.
God.
In it, man, who would have thought we would be talking about this? Crazy. Let's do a prayer, guys.
Yes, I know it's kind of affected so much, and a lot of people are doing a lot of different things. I know you guys did a virtual concert for which festival was it?
It
Well, we've done a few.
It was called the Warehouse Manifesto.
No, we did it. We
Oh,
did it for 2000
oh
Trees.
my, yeah. I'm
And
a
why
different planet.
And why not? Yeah.
Yeah,
So we did 2 festivals.
And download.
3 festivals: Download Festival, Why Not Festival, and 2000 Trees Festival. So we did, we did some virtual appearances for those festivals. But what Josh is referring to is we did a live stream show with a company called 4 Wall, that was amazing. That
was the first time we'd played our new songs of our last 2 EPs in one set, and it was knackering.
yeah.
It was
Not
ridiculous.
done a gig since January, and yeah, it was mad to be able to actually play our music live. You know, the reason we do it.
What was your "this is it" moment? Like the moment you guys were like, "This is what we want to do."
Oof. What? During band or like?
Since you were born.
Yeah, like when we started, do you mean? Like after we started playing our instruments or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. I think when I got to a point where I was better at drumming than I was at like football and rugby, I was like, this is probably the thing I should be doing. and yeah, that was kind of my realization. And then I just started taking it a lot more serious, and that was it.
My moment was when I watched the concert of Robbie Williams at Nebworth, and he entered the stage hanging upside down, and I thought, wow, I want to be this man.
Great.
Well, I think it's. I don't know. When I got into music, I did actually get into music through film soundtracks, and one of them was, funnily enough, to School of Rock.
Oh yeah, you always say
Yeah.
that.
So after that, I was really young. I got into rock music, and then it was a slippery slope from rock to death metal, and then I got really some extreme areas. But I always knew I wanted to do it, like irregardless of in what like way it was. And then as soon as I picked up the guitar, it just made sense. So
It just makes
it
sense.
just made sense.
I like to think the instrument picks the person and the person doesn't pick the instrument.
Yeah.
It's like a knight on a noble quest. One day he'll pick up his sword and think, my, this is mine.
You've set him off here, you know.
This is my weapon.
Maybe that happened.
Maybe
that
that
has happened.
And he is going to slay many
just
dragons.
slay those dragons.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've still got dragons to slay. That's what we're trying to say. There's still big dragons out there.
Deep-rooted metaphor.
Yeah. If you can figure it out, tweet us at the HARA Bar.
Nice.
That was so in depth. So we're gonna segue to a question our PR director Grace came up with. It's tough. Sorry. The question is, what is your opinion of releasing an artist's unreleased music after they passed away? Should it be released or should it not?
Oh,
That's a
we're
deep
hitting
question.
right in the Lil Peep and XXX here. I think. I
don't know how to answer that.
I think if it's done, then it's nice to hear what they've done. Like for instance, with the Lil Peep stuff, everybody wanted to hear that. Everybody wanted to hear what he'd kind of concocted before his death. I think the one thing I don't really agree with is when it benefits other people and other people feature on it for their own benefit, or people are brought in for their own benefit to be on them things and finish it off, should we say. That's a bit of a grey area.
Yeah, I think you can look at it in 2 ways. It's you know, there's the David Bowie kind of way where he wrote Black Star and he arranged for it to be posthumously released because it is about him dying. Or maybe, you know, you look at it maybe like the Prince kind of way where he's got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of unreleased songs, but they're unreleased for a reason.
Yeah.
And he's built up this collection, and the choice is taken away from him. So if an artist or whoever it might be, like their management or who the powers that be behind them decide to get in a bunch of features to finish the album just for the sake of it and cash in a quick check, then obviously that's a moral and ethical.
Yeah.
Uh,
We was talking actually the other day about similar lines to this, where we was listening to the Juice WRLD album, and we actually said, do you reckon he'd like it? Do you reckon if he listened now, would he be like, yeah, this is how I wanted it to sound, this is how I wanted it to be? Because obviously he didn't get a part in that final product, which as musicians ourselves, that is so important to be happy with it and know what's going out. So yeah. I think it's good in some situations, but
is it business or is it creativity?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually why we bring it up. So the question did come about because of the Little Pete songs that were released, and one of the things is like, I know, like as a fan, you always want to hear more music, but at the end of the day, the artist actually be happy.
yeah.
So I have heard examples of Prince and David Bowie and Mac Miller.
Yeah.
One of the things at least like I think should happen is like artists should create an artist. Well, I know that sounds so depressing, but it's just something to like, so you guys have a say in whatever.
Yeah. That's actually really, really, that's a great point. I think that should be.
Is that right in your will, isn't it?
That's what she's saying.
Oh, is that
An artist will.
right?
So in case you die.
Yeah, that's a good
material.
That's
That's a great.
Yeah.
We're gonna get that in our
Let's do it,
contract.
Paul, boys.
I have it negotiated into a contract. I have heard that too.
Yeah.
cool.
Mad, isn't it? Crazy.
So kind of relating to that, if you could change one thing about the music industry as it is today, what would it be and why?
Artists earn more money and have more control over what they do. Full stop.
Yeah. I think that's the big one, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I think the big one's just control. There's a lot of manufacturing going on, and there's a lot of doors to an artist that people never ever see, and yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You see a face, but behind it's like 18,000 people all working on what he's got to do or she's got to do. So I'd probably change that, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah, man.
I know like one of the big things I hear a lot is controlling and owning masters. It's like a huge thing that I really didn't even know about or think about until
Only a few bands have managed to reclaim the rights to their own masters, like Motley Crue, for example. I know Slipknot are trying to do it, but yeah, I think that's really. And I mean, unfortunately, only like a 1% band. I think AC/DC have got their own masters and stuff like that. But like again, it is a very finite amount of musicians who can have the power or monetary kind of arsenal at their disposal to do that. So yeah, for a lot of like smaller mid-range bands, it's
on their way, isn't it?
It's a pipe dream because you have to sign that deal to get to that point. So it's apples and oranges, you know.
Yeah.
It's like the devil you do, the devil you don't do.
It's a great point, actually. I remember reading something on, I can't remember who it was, but an artist was previously with a label and wrote some massive tunes with them, and then moved and didn't have the masters, and their old label refused their playing rights of it because they owned the copyrights to it. And yeah, it was a weird thing, but I can't actually remember who it was. So
I feel like it's really tricky nowadays because in a sense there's like less gatekeeping, but at the same time it's like harder to like break through in a sense, since like, and it's so hard to like find artists sometimes. At least like I know like I go through artists probably most of my day in my free time. I click a lot of like the fans also like, and I go down that like rabbit hole, and then I play a song that's not popular just because I feel like it's a better representation of the artist. So
yeah,
I've noticed that like if it's not deemed popular by the public, it's not deemed But it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that way. It should be music for music's sake.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
it's all a game though. It's all a game. You got to play that game, and you got to, have time to yourself. You just have a moment and just let your tears run.
And our related artist is nothing like us, so don't go down our rabbit hole of related artists.
Yeah. Let's not go there.
I think we're approximately the same age, so I wonder what your thoughts are on how social media has changed the music industry.
Ooh.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it is. I think that it's so easy to see the downside of it, and especially for us, like we spend at the moment 90% of our time is social media of what we do, and it can be frustrating, but it's opened so many doors for new artists to get into the limelight. As much as I hate to say it, TikTok massive for that at the minute, to go viral on there. It's the place to be, really, I think. And we've been speaking to our managers about this, and he was saying that instead of Spotify now, a lot of labels are just going straight to TikTok and finding people on there, which I think is quite interesting. We wouldn't be here without social media at all.
Yeah.
We've completely relied on it to sell tickets to our shows and to meet the people we have, to get in touch with managers. Everything is our social media. It owns us.
It revolves around it.
But yeah, that's a good point though. I think it can take over you if you let it. I think it can be really a dark place to be on if you let it take over. So you got to have breaks. I think it's got to be healthy.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Netflix documentary, The Social Dilemma?
Oh no, I wanted to watch it. Have you seen? Is it good?
It's like what my career will be, so I haven't watched it yet because it's kind of bad. I want to do, so no. But I have heard about it. We spoke about it in class.
Yeah, I might watch that. I might watch that tonight in bed.
Might have a little watch.
Yeah. Did look really good.
It's kind of like data profiling. Like I know like Spotify does it. Like after a while, it'll recommend you things based on what you listen to, which is always interesting.
Yeah, we're being watched, aren't we? All the time. It's like a big episode of Big Brother. Next up, Big Brother we have.
Going very deep here.
What musicians inspire you to be a better musician?
Ooh. 3 right off the top of my Swede. I'd go for Arikin Protter from FIFA 333. That guy is just insane. I would go for Tony Royster Jr., obviously the legend of the drum world. And third, I would go for Marco Minimum.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Absolutely sick drummers.
Yep.
3 off the top of my bones. Freddie Mercury, all time great guy. Robbie Williams, and Idols. I love them. I think their stage presence is amazing. I love the attitude, and for me, it's about stage presence and putting on that show. And anyone that can do that on stage and just have an audience in their hand,
Yeah,
I admire that.
by the throat.
Yeah. I think Frank Iero from Mychem. I think again, yeah, he's got the performance down. Solid rhythm player. John Petrucci is a guitar player from the band called Dream Theater, and he's one of the. He's amazing, absolutely amazing as a player, as a technical player.
Didn't you meet him and not like him though?
I know I met him and then asked if I can have a free guitar, and he said no.
What the hell?
I'm still there like, why? Anyway, after that, it didn't tarnish my interpretation of the man. Though I'm sure he's a very nice guy. Never got that guitar though, so if you hear this, give me it. And who's the third guy? Who is the third guy? It's probably like a cross between. No, it's between like Hendrix, Steve Vai. Stevie Ray Vaughan.
I personally enjoy this question since I love seeing how like these influences maybe come through in your own music, but at the same time you sound completely different. So it's nice to see kind of like this progression of music through the ages, like who makes you want to be a better player and do what you do even more.
I think ourselves make me
Yeah.
want to be better. I think these two talented buggers, I think they're amazing. I love just watching them do the thing, and I just want to kiss them, you know. And that makes me want to be better as well. And I think just our journey and being in the studio, you have them little magical moments, and something will happen on stage. Jack might do a fill, and I'd be like, "Oh boy, that was good," you know. And I think them moments inspire me as much as other people do.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I agree.
Sweet. You mentioned the studio. What is your favorite part of the studio process, like the recording process?
The end product.
Yeah.
When it's done,
I'm
you
not a
don't
big
like
fan
it,
of
do
it.
you?
No, it's nice to see you, man. Well, I mean, exactly
it's
that. It's amazing and euphoric to see finally, like, see and hear your ideas materialize in a sense where it's all one cohesive thing.
It's usually painstaking.
But
to get
the
there.
process is pretty atrocious. Yeah, it's just a slog at times.
It's like it is a roller coaster. You have the moments where you're like, "This is absolute rubbish.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Can't think of anything." Then you have moments where it's like, "This is the best song ever." Then the next minute it's like, "This is the worst song ever." And
Especially if it's like if you're tired on a session and it's like, but you have to deliver the product.
I think with the way we do it as well, we have booked sessions, so we work with people like producers and writers. So we're in on a day, and that's booked in.
you do it on the
So
day.
whether you're feeling bad, whether you're feeling down, whether you're really inspired on that day, you cannot change it, and it's
You got to bring it.
yeah, you've just got to bring whatever you can to the session. And yeah, some day, like Josh says, some days you'll write a song in 5 hours that'll be absolutely easy, or 10 minutes that'll be easy, and it just comes to you. And then another day you'll get like half an idea of a song that you'll then have to finish and progress, and then it might not even come anything. But yeah, the end product is definitely my favorite.
Stabbing him in the bag and playing him live. That's it. Yeah, man.
I feel like the studio process is such an experience. From what I've heard, I've obviously never done it or seen it actually happen, but I've heard lots of stories about how it can either be, as you said, like I feel like you guys are perfectionists, if that makes sense. Like what you put out, you want it to be the best it can possibly be. And the best.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's good and bad. I think sometimes, you know, we can butt heads and be like, "Oh, no, we want this, I want this," or whatever. But I think, you know, that is definitely a good thing. And I think we're going back to what I was saying before about influences, like we're three completely different people and inspired by different people. And I think that all kind of goes into that, which is cool. That's it.
Yeah.
So I've said that.
Oui.
I think that goes into like personally for the EP, a lot of the stuff you guys have done is, as I mentioned earlier, completely different than what I hear here. Yeah. And I think that the way it's produced and the way it's like put out, like you guys didn't put out everything so close together. It was like nicely spaced so people had time to digest the music. And I'm actually curious, how do you pick which single is released first?
We put out the worst one first to get out of the way, and then no.
I think it is timing, whatever. Like we released Circus because at that time with the Australian fires and stuff like that going on, it fitted perfectly with that timing.
And it was
So
during
that-
lockdown as well. Wasn't
yeah.
It? So, kind of
So that plays a part, like the timing, the feel of what's going on in the world. Will it come across right? And sometimes as well, what other people are bringing out, will it fit with them? Will it kind of coincide with the current trends that are happening and stuff? But
it changed quite a lot though. The Off the Edge was actually supposed to come out second, but that ended up coming out third. A lot of it is corporate side of it. You know, our label might be like, "Oh, we want to get this on the radio, so push this first," and all this kind of stuff that sometimes we don't have a massive say in, which is again a bit frustrating. But yeah, lots of different things, I think.
How much impact it'll make is always important.
So I asked that because I hated every single that was released for Glue. I didn't enjoy them at all. And then when I heard the album in full, I thought it was like the best thing I've heard in such a long time. It's probably going to be my album of the year. When I heard your singles, they kind of like grabbed me in a sense where I was like, this is something great. Like, this is something that I need to also hear the full product. And it was nice to just like sit for about 20 minutes and just go through every track. And that was something where I was like, that's great. Like, it's nice to hear that. Like, the singles are fantastic and the whole EP is fantastic.
Thank you very much.
That means a lot. I love that.
What are your goals for 2020? You can do the year or the decade because the year's kind of been canceled.
Yeah. Should we do goals for next year then? Saying as if the world goes back to normal. What are we saying? Festivals, 100%.
Festivals,
Get them done.
tours.
Europe, America. Oh my, we would love to come over to America,
Yeah,
man.
love to.
Support a massive band over there and just get
Just
on
have
the road.
fun.
Just have a bit of fun.
Experience what America has to offer. The HARA.
The ARA.
Just tour it. Like this year, we've had two gigs this year. Like that's insane. I think
We want a viral song as well.
Yeah.
We want to drop
Yeah.
a song that's like,
just goes
That
on.
just grabs everyone.
yeah.
We're
Yeah,
so
massive tune.
materialistic, guys. That's
Yeah.
not what music is about.
We want to have fun and it to be sunny every day.
yeah.
In fact, no, we don't, because climate change and all that sort of stuff.
Oh
so
yeah.
we need some snow.
Got to think about the fish as well.
Yeah.
I think touring is the big one. Getting to new places.
Yeah,
That's all.
definitely exploring.
Quick question. Have you guys never been to America?
Not
touring.
band wise, no.
Okay.
I've been on holidays as a kid. Been to Florida and New York.
Yeah, same.
I don't know why those are the two places everyone goes.
I can imagine that they are probably the. I imagine if you've asked every British person, they've probably been to those two places the most.
Yeah.
Was it Disney in Florida?
Yeah, Disneyland and Orlando, yeah.
Yeah,
It was sick.
yeah, the same.
I
Blizzard
stayed-
Beach.
I stayed in this place called Animal Kingdom Lodge, and there was just like giraffes outside my gaff all day.
Just chilling.
Yeah, it
Sick.
was sick. Like a balcony, and this just giraffe was just sat there, like with his head over my balcony. And I was like, all right, bro. I wasn't, because I was like 9, but I was like, oh my God.
It's a dinosaur.
So thanks guys again for doing this. I greatly appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
I've enjoyed this. I've had a lovely time. It's been a journey.
Thanks for doing this. I appreciate it and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
You
Goodbye.
too.
Peace
Bye.
out.